How much of your day do you spend communicating? Maybe it's not very much, or maybe like me, it's most of your day. Dena Zavier here, and today I got to thinking about communication and how easy it is to be misunderstood. The reason, I think, is because we don't approach our day-to-day communications in a conscious manner. We just say what comes to mind, or we just react when others say what comes to mind. Unless you're a hermit or a lighthouse keeper, I don't even think they have those anymore. Unless you're one of those, every day you are engaging in dozens of communications. You might ask your husband what he wants for dinner tonight, or your wife if she'd like to go out for dinner. Okay, that was just a little sexist, but you could ask those things without even realizing the intent of your question. Your wife, for example, might be fishing for an invite out, and your husband might just really want to stay home but doesn't want to be the one to suggest it. Lots of examples in the workplace come to mind as well. A situation where a coworker shares a new way of doing something with a supervisor, is excited, and then the supervisor, without explaining, just says, no, I'd like you to do it the way I taught you. What's the result here? The worker feels hurt, maybe discouraged. The supervisor's purpose might have been simply to keep his or her life simple amidst the myriad of other responsibilities that they have. The employee's purpose maybe was to impress the boss. Or maybe it was to make their life simpler with a process that was easier for them to do. In both of these circumstances, the communications of the individuals may match their own purpose, but they aren't taking into account the purpose of the other. And hence, they're disregarding the equality, or they're disregarding the equally important purpose of preserving and developing the relationship. So that means that there's two basic prerequisites for communicating effectively. One, you have to know your purpose. You need to know what you want to get out of a communication that you're going to enter into. And two, you need to know the purpose of the other person. That is, an intent to understand what they need or desire to get out of the communication. It's only when both of these intentions are considered that the relationship is given value and importance. And after all, it is relationship that drives most people to communicate, isn't it? The way I see it is a way to be more conscious of the relationship is to prepare for your communications, prepare for your meetings, prepare for your conversations by considering ahead of time what is your purpose for that communication, that meeting, or that conversation. And when you're considering that purpose, also take into account the broader goal of nurturing the relationship by thinking about and perhaps being ready with some questions that will help you understand the other person's purpose in talking with you. If too many communications only serve one party or the other, what happens is pretty soon the person whose purposes are not being met will lose interest in communicating altogether. The relationship will hold no value for them. So what I'd like to say is think before you speak. Oh my gosh, that's so old. But think before you speak. And if you're planning a meeting or planning a communication, think about it ahead of time. What is your purpose? And what might be the purpose of the other person? And what's going to result is you're going to build some relationships. And that's what we all want. Thank you so much for listening. This is Dena Zavier, and communicate, because we need relationships to live our most amazing adventures.